Hi, and thanks for tuning in today. The subject today on this episode is the Book of Abraham and the Papyri that Joseph Smith translated. There's a controversy in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with critics of the church, in that they believe that Joseph Smith did not translate the Book of Abraham from a known papyri. Here's the story. So Joseph Smith receives this old manuscript believed to be from the Book of Abraham. And he translates this quite lengthy book called the Book of Abraham, which the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints use today as scripture. It was believed that this papyri was lost in a fire in the mid-1800s. However, in the mid-1900s, some gentleman in the Metropolitan Museum found the papyri that he believed was the full papyri in an archive, and that we have the original. So people who understand how to translate Egyptian hieroglyphs have translated that papyri, and they claim that it says nothing of what the Book of Abraham says, and therefore Joseph Smith was just faking it. Well, there's a couple of problems with this analysis. There's a famous man named Hugh Nibley. He was a PhD at Brigham Young University and a very renowned scholar of scriptures and the Bible. Well, one of his relatives, his former relatives, and his name was Preston Nibley, claimed that he traveled with Joseph F. Smith, who was at the time the current president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the year 1906. Now, Joseph F. Smith, you have to note, is Joseph Smith's nephew. So now Joseph F. Smith is the president of the church. He travels back to Nauvoo, where Joseph Smith lived and where his last days on earth were. And he recounted to Preston Nibley that when Joseph F. Smith was a little boy, he remembers seeing the long scroll from the Book of Abraham rolled out on a floor in Joseph Smith's house. And he said it rolled out so long that Joseph Smith had to put rocks and books on it to keep it flat. And it rolled out so long that it went through 2 rooms of the Nauvoo house. So the fragments from the museum that were found a few decades back, they're just a few little fragments, not a long scroll. And so this flies in the face of, do we have the original Book of Abraham so someone can translate it, or do we not have it? The record from Oliver Cowdery, who was, by the way, one of the original 3 witnesses of the Book of Mormon, Oliver Cowdery claimed that the scroll that was the long scroll that Joseph Smith used to translate most of the Book of Abraham was perfectly preserved. So you have 2 accounts here. You have Preston Nibley's account verbally from Joseph F. Smith, who was Joseph Smith's nephew, recounting what he remembered when he was a little boy about how long that scroll was. We have Oliver Cowdery saying that the scroll was perfectly preserved. And now from the museum, we have a few fragments. Some people, critics of the church, are saying that this is the original. Well, I have a problem with that analytical, because I have journals and recollections of a scroll looking much different than what people are claiming is translated. Therefore, I can't accept the notion that we have proof that Joseph Smith did not translate the Book of Abraham correctly, because I don't believe we have the long scroll described of what I've just previously told you. And this is a controversy that's going on inside and outside the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's going on, and I have many friends that have a problem with it. But when you dive into the facts and review the things that I've just described, it doesn't seem outside the bounds of logic that we do not have the actual scroll. All right. Thanks for listening again. And once again, we always ask for this. Please subscribe, because we don't know if you like this or not. If you like it, we'll keep making more. And if you keep subscribing, that tells us to make a lot more. Thanks for listening. You can always find us at www.johnspenningtonjr.com. Thanks for listening.